Welcome everyone to the beginners room with me today of XM. Whether you're joining me on YouTube or you're joining in the beginners room of XM, today I'm taking the art of buying and selling. So we will look at what it involves to buy and sell in the market, to trade, basically trading in the market, what that involves, what you can look out for, and all of that. At the same time, we will look at the economic calendar. Usually on Monday morning, I like to start with the economic calendar so that we can plan ahead what's happening in the market for this week, what am I expecting, and this can help us do better as traders in the market. Okay. We'll also look at the different ways that we can analyze the market, the different analysis styles in the market, because when we talk about buying and selling, the heart of buying and selling, we need to analyze, we need to know at what time, how we analyze, at what time we enter a trade, what we want to look out for, which is quite important to help you be clear, to have clarity as to when you want to buy or when you want to sell. So my name is Olugbemi. If you're tuning in for the first time in my session, endeavor to let me know your name in the comment section, to introduce yourself. Tell me where you're joining from, and this will help me to know you better. Okay. So I will look at the economic calendar, like I say, and I'm also going to be in the chat so that if you ask questions, I'll be able to see. If you have plans on how you're trading the market this week, you can give us idea. Maybe you have idea of some of the way the market is moving already and your own expectation that you want to share with us. Appreciated as well. Okay. So let's start with the economic calendar. Let me bring that here so that we start from that one, and then we start with market analysis. We continue with market analysis as planned. Okay. So Monday through Friday. And you will notice I have filtered for high impact because I want to see the high impact news. Mainly, I really don't bother much about the my low impact and the ones that are medium impact. Usually the ones I want to pay more attention to are the high impact news. And for this week, we have IXM manufacturing PMI for the US today, 3 p.m. GMT. We have also later building permits month over month. And then for tomorrow, we have building permits also. The building permit we have today, later today, is New Zealand. And the one we have tomorrow midnight, I would say, in GMT, that is 12:30 midnight. Building permit also month over month for Australia. Then we have the interest rate decision for Australia. This one is the one that I am more concerned about, that I want to pay attention to, 3:30 a.m. GMT. And there's an expectation of a rate increase, not rate cut this time around, a rate increase from 3.6% to 3.85%. And that should help us see how we will trade the market, better that way. If there's an expectation that this ones will be increasing rates, amidst rate cuts now, where majority of the other major currencies or major countries are either cutting rates or pausing at this time, and we are seeing Australia starting to increase rates. I think that should have some level of impact on what happens in the market today. Then we also have JOLTS job opening for December in the US later today as well. Later on Tuesday. The RBA interest rate decision is also Tuesday morning. And New Zealand, we have unemployment rates for Q4 2025 tomorrow as well. On Wednesday, we have inflation report for the Euro area. We have ADP employment change report for the US and ISM service PMI. Inflation report, especially, I would want to pay attention to for the Euro area, because I know this would have quite some impact on what happens in that zone. I will also be expecting this one. Another one I'll pay major attention to is the interest rate decision from the Bank of England interest rate decision, which is where the expectation is that it remains at the same level of 3.75. Aside from the interest rate decision from the UK, we also have from the Euro area. It is also expected to remain at the same level, though, the same day on Thursday of this week. Initial jobless claim is there to also pay attention to. Then aside from the rates, we also want to pay attention to the ECB press conference. We know that the press conference usually have some major movement on the market as well. So the major impact on the market. It is not just the rates on its own, the interest rate decision, but also the conference that comes with it. Because during the conference, decisions may be made, and may be shared on what's going to happen in the future. And this is quite important to pay attention to. Okay. And then very important also to pay attention to the non-farm payroll on Friday, first Friday of the month. We usually see this happen, the non-farm payroll. And then we expect the employment change as well for Canada that day. So the employment reports for Canada that day. Initial jobless claim will be on Thursday. So that is what some people also try to pay attention to before the non-farm payroll that comes the day after. All right. So the market is packed this week, a lot of activity. And I usually love weeks like this because it means volatility in the market. It means liquidity, the price moving quite fast because of the expectation. And this can help us to do trading better. So let's pay attention to this as we navigate the market within this week. All right. So now, aside from the news that we're expecting this week, we now want to go and talk about the expectations. What are we seeing in the market? What are we expecting? And how do we want to trade that? All right. Hello, on YouTube, we have at Atia Stephen. Good to have you. Hello, how are you doing? And what are you trading today? What are you looking at? What are you trading in the market today? Or what are you planning? How are you planning to trade during this week, especially as we have quite a lot of high impact that we are expecting within the week? It's quite important to plan ahead as to how one will trade the week. So now, having that understanding, how am I going to be approaching the market? There are different ways of analyzing the market. What we are looking at is fundamental. Now, if I want to do fundamental analysis, whether I am new or experienced in the market, one way that the XM has made it easy for traders is through this economic calendar. I can start looking at the impact of all of these economic indicators. These are different economic indicators that we have here. And these economic indicators, they are coming more like news, and you can use them to start preparing or to have an idea the kind of impact they would have on the markets. Okay. And so when it comes to analysis of the market, whether it's fundamental you want to look at, technical analysis or sentiment, all of these are quite important because they help you to find basis for your decision making in the market. So talking about fundamental, we started from there. We look at the economic calendar, and within the economic calendar, we were considering some of the fundamental indicators. We saw inflation reports that we're expecting within the week. We saw interest rate decisions that we are expecting, and non-farm payroll is also there, from economic calendar like this. Now, I mentioned XM makes it easy for you to have an understanding of the level of impact through these other tools here. Aside from just looking at the numbers, we have all these windows that we can click and start considering, okay, what kind of impact can this have? So let's look at this interest rate decision for Australia. I'm going to use AUD USD. Okay, so this is this part is impact, all right? This window is showing us the impact. I am considering the instrument, which is Australian dollar USD, and I'm looking at 4 hours after the event. So from the point of the event till 4 hours after, what happened in the market. And I'm looking at 5-minute candle. All right. So now everything is here for you. Instead of you just coming to look at the event calendar, try to see, okay, what was the actual, the forecast, what was the previous, the forecast and the actual, and then you open your chart and you start scrolling and scrolling to get back to maybe last 2 months, last year, 5-minute chart. That's going to take a lot. But if you use the economic calendar, you are going to just come straight to impact. You click on it and you can see this. Now I can use this to start analyzing what usually happen. Now for the last month, there wasn't any change. It was the previous was 3.6%. It was forecasted that it was going to remain at the same level, and that was what happened. And what did we see here? Price, the first 5 minutes, price pushed down, but afterward, what happened? It moved all the way up. Now I can go this way month after month into the past. So this now I see the same thing, nothing changed. Price also first moved down a bit, moved back up and then down, right? But we still saw movement in the market, but it didn't happen just immediately. Immediately, the price just made some small move here and there, and then it changed the direction at some point. So this can start giving me an idea of the pattern of movement, what happens when there is no change in interest rate decision. Maybe this is the pattern. It usually would behave this way or move in this fashion. I may go ahead and look at the news for that particular day, what was happening in the economy, aside from the interest rates that we're expecting. We will look at, all of these other things that are happening, and that will help us make informed decisions in the market. Okay, so I can look back. Like now, this one, there was a rate cut from 3.85% to 3.6. What happened? This first moved down, up, and then pushed to the downside. This was the expectation that it was going to reduce, and it did reduce as expected, but the movement wasn't so much. It was just, a little bit of consolidation here and there. That's what we see. But overall, the price pushed to the downside. And what it means when the price is moving down is that USD is the stronger one here. Australian dollar got weaker. So overall, Australian dollar got weaker when there was a rate cut, and that's the normal expectation. A rate cut, people, that may make an investor to look at it that, okay, if the rate is reducing, the value of this currency may also reduce. And in that case, an investor may sell off their currency or may start selling off little by little of their currency. And if supply is higher than demand, what happens to currency? We expect the currency value to drop. So what are we doing? Analyzing already by using this part of your back end as a trader with XM. So you have a lot to yourself to help you start understanding fundamental analysis. And when it comes to even technical, there are so much. The chart is there for you, everything you need in order for you to analyze well in the market and start trading. So ensure that you have your accounts and you're trading it the way you should, the right way. Okay. Sorry. So ensure that you're trading your account as you should, the right way. So let's move on. We are going to now look at how we are going to be trading the market within the week. We'll go back to the chart and analyze the chart. Okay, so we want to analyze what we can see on the chart and have an idea or have plans as to how we will trade the particular chart, or how we will ensure that we handle what we are seeing in the market for that week. Okay, so now this is a downtrending market. This is Euro NZD. Euro NZD, I think I traded over the last week, and it's a down. We can see the price has been pushing down, and at some point we have this like an ascending channel, and the price continue to move down from that level, as we are able to see here. So this is a downtrending market for me. If I want to find a trade here, I will be maybe looking to sell if I am basing it on just that time frame. But let's go to the higher time frame and see what's happening there. This is